Blackberry?
I think,
Well, answer the phone when it rings.
no, I
You
don't
never have to go
know.
out.
No,
That's a.
you have to answer the phone when it rings and you can't go on vacation. It's simple.
It's in your phone system. When the village did that building over with the bat incident, when they had bats in the police station and all that, that's when ITC came in and replaced the phone system. But at the time, we also had Frontier. So we were using the Frontier phone system for the voicemail and stuff, just like what you have down at DPW. You're using the 914961032 is actually a Frontier number, where you have your own phone system, just like here. And there's probably an option where you could get voicemail, but you're gonna pay for it.
I think the
Well-
chief is pretty bored.
Yeah,
Voice.
he has places, no, he doesn't, no offense.
Trade it in,
No
give it to
offense,
him.
no offense taken.
Okay.
You take my phone.
That's fine, I'm okay with no voicemail.
Oh, okay, see, I'm defending you, and you didn't even.
No, I just think it's
Yeah, he's not-
Antiquated,
I
yeah.
don't think he asked you to defend it,
it's old fashioned, you know?
okay?
All right, I'll,
That was pretty responsible thing, huh?
So as soon as I get those prices, we can have that discussion, bring the discussion further. We do know, like, you mentioned the monument, that if something was to happen, well, the camera would pick up somebody walking behind the monument. If that person is there for a long time, and the next day it's damaged, well, we have that person.
but it could reach that far.
It reaches that far, yeah.
Okay.
We, you know, one of the things I'd like to, you know, also discuss is lighting, put more lighting down there, whether in the trees, berms,
Mhm.
low voltage or regular lights down there.
I wonder if solar lights would be strong enough to,
I don't know,
that's why it was something less than.
people would take that. But we could always see,
So
we
you
took
would
it
put
from
in
the
the
camera.
trees. Who's climbing trees?
No,
Oh,
looking up
oh,
from
okay.
the ground to the tree, we talked about later.
Like,
Because it really is dark. I mean, when you leave the
Especially
monument,
at night.
at night, it's dark, and it gets darker, and then it's
or do you
followed
have a
by
recommendation for lights at the park? by any
scattered
chance?
light.
Yes,
Mhm.
what would that be?
Same lights that I used on the rocks, on the stones in the middle of the
That
road.
does look beautiful.
And
that
thank
was
you,
beautiful.
and
By the way,
thank you for that.
Yes.
It's worth
I said I would do it last year. I said I would light
So what
it
took
up.
you so long?
Huh?
it. He was trying to go on vacation.
Oh, you-
And you won't let him go.
Now, if the guys from they're supposed to go down there this week or next week and mount that as a plaque.
I mean, if the lights need to be adjusted, just let me know. But
No, I think
Oh, they're
that,
gorgeous.
Yeah, it was
It
really
looks
nice.
really
I did
nice.
put it on Facebook,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of,
we didn't do
It
it,
changed
a
the
lot of
whole
hits,
look, it's
yeah.
amazing.
we didn't do it for that.
No, but
We did it to
still.
honor them
yes,
because
I know
Right,
that, that's
right.
why you did it.
I was
Yes.
upset that the Moffett Library took those stones out of there, because as a kid, going with my dad, to Memorial Day parade and stuff, that meant a lot to a lot of the local kids here. And then all of a sudden, Moffett Library, I'm sorry that maybe whoever was involved with the village planning board or somebody like that should have said, the stones have got to stay, because that was part of the Moffett Library.
Yeah.
And then just to move them down there, it's just, I just thought it was a disgrace to the old timers of the village.
But I think it worked out pretty good.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
think
think in
with the
hindsight.
flag pole there, and
Yeah.
I think it's really nice.
So thank you again, really.
The only thing is that I asked Chris about, is I was a little kind of disturbed when I saw a piece of wood behind the stone holding it up.
Right.
Catch a baby.
Is it solid?
Yep. And I
I
asked
mean, to
Al,
me,
who's
it-
working on it, he said he can.
You know, let's
We can't move it?
install it right, no, they tell me, because I said, what the frick is that piece of board being up against the wooden guardrail? Oh, that's holding the stone up.
Right.
I said, are you kidding me? There was no cement base that this stone was sitting on to cement it in place so it can't fall? Oh, no. You know, Well,
fix that.
different.
Yeah.
Right?
It definitely has to be fixed.
I'm
or
sure
at
there's
least-
a monument
or
place that
painted.
could fix it.
Or paint the wood.
Well, we'll put a, you know,
Base on it.
some kind of stone or other kind of,
Something, if you need something.
more attractive than a two by
They
four.
try to make something so it's not, you know,
Well,
presentable.
Something more
you know,
respectful, yeah.
staying in that area, when I did go on vacation, down in South Carolina, and I forwarded you the picture.
Mhm.
There was a little sign, lawn sign, I guess that's the
It
best
was
way to
probably
put it,
3 feet by maybe, about 18
Yeah.
inches high.
that we could use that same concept, putting it there, naming that area. It could be Washingtonville Common or Veterans Common.
Because we refer to it as a million different names.
Yeah, not something with all the branches of the service that was proposed 2 years ago. Just something to say, I'll meet you at Veterans Common, or whatever we want to name it. So let's come up with a name. We could maybe do that right after the planting, which takes place Monday the
Well,
21st.
Linda actually put plants down there already.
Okay,
This way we get a jump on Monday, so there are some
Okay.
plants down there
and that
already.
tree was donated by
Eugenia.
Eugenia Moskowitz, so I'll give it acknowledgement to that. That was very nice on her part.
Looks good, right?
We still have to pour concrete there, and this all has to be done prior to the Memorial
That's
Day.
getting done soon.
Right, yeah. Well, that's
It's next week.
It's a day.
Mhm.
If you happen to pass Memorial Park, they are redoing the pavers
Oh,
that
they look
lead
beautiful.
to the monument. Looks like it's brand new.
It does. They did a nice job. They did a nice job.
Hoping they could complete that, but it would be completed. I'm just hoping it could be completed by Memorial Day.
Just a little off topic when we were talking about the plantings for the
Yeah.
21st. I got the concept of why you're doing the AutoZone lot. I never understood the concept of the Dunkin' Donuts one, since there's grass there, and it's pretty wide, the grass. You know what I'm saying? I get the concept that you're
Right.
going for the AutoZone, but I don't get the Dunkin' Donuts one.
Well, because it's just to make it more uniform, because there are cars in that parking lot also.
Right, but is it like an 8-foot grass?
I know, but,
They're perpendicular to the grass,
Right.
too. So that's where you come
Well, I'm just saying the point
There's a-
that
there's a big
it's
piece
a
of
buffer.
grass
The idea
in
was to make it
between.
walkable, I
Right.
thought originally.
right,
from. I do know that, Chief, you requested flower pots.
Valerie and Diane said there's no problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just something for the front of the station.
So do we need them out front here?
No,
No,
I
that's
spoke to
why
Leanne
Yeah.
about
we're moving
it.
them.
Yeah.
We're moving them from here to
Right.
the police department, but that will be Monday.
Thank you.
Yeah, they'll be beautiful.
its studies show that when the cars are behind the store, people feel more comfortable walking. So we can't get the cars behind the stores, so we're putting that line of flower pots up. Let's just continue it all the way down. You know, for the kids going to school and stuff like this. I just thought it, be uniform. We'll see. This year.
What's that? No. Okay.
Placemaking, where have you been? Have you been at the meetings?
So, I think we're on track for Monday.
Yep, yep, weather should be good.
Yes.
I think Monday is the only good day next week.
Right, Chris is picking the flowers up tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll get the trees on Saturday.
Okay.
We're
But we
moving
have Carl and Nick
Nick.
working on Saturday, and
Monday, I think.
we'll ask Chris, yeah, I
Yeah.
have to, I haven't yet, but I'll
Right.
ask Chris to have both Carl and Nick work on Monday.
Yep, we need a whole crew.
Okay, so moving on to old business 4B regarding installation of fountains.
I want to table it to the next meeting.
Okay. 4C, update regarding installation of water meters, Washingtonville Manor and Brookside Acres, Deputy Lane.
Well, in Brookside, in Brookside, each home, each lot has a meter. And what Brookside is doing now, when there's a problem with when the people, residents call up, the residents think that Brookside's in charge of the meters, they pay their own bills, they get billed and pay their own bills. And if they don't pay them, they go to the tax rolls. But in the case of Brookside, it goes to the tax rolls for Brookside. And then Brookside, in turn, goes back after the lot renter, lot owner, to get their money back, plus legal fees, and da-da-da-da. So, for years and years, because this is the way we do it, the residents were always responsible for their meters. But if you're doing an upgrade, and what they're doing now is they're sending, I asked the guy, do you have an agreement, the guy in Albany, one of the corporate managers,
But that's,
RHP,
that's Washington, man.
Manor, yeah, what did I say, Brookside?
Yeah.
Oh, there's two, okay, so, you want me to go back to Brookside? Brookside has 2 meters, main meters, for all of Brookside. And it's based on 153 units right now. They're hard to read, but they pay us a flat rate, and I forget what it is, but between you, me, and the camera over there, based on a number of homes that they lost in Brookside, we're probably in pretty good shape right now with that flat rate, because there's not as many homes as there once was over there. Whereas Washingtonville Manor, though, that's the place that does have, each one has an individual meter. And in the rest of the village, according to the village code, if it's an upgrade, we do the upgrade at our expense. We pay for if it's a 100 multiplier meter or put in a new meter, we pay for the upgrade. If a meter freezes and it has to be replaced, we'll replace the meter, but we charge the resident, all right? They pay.
If it freezes.
If it freezes, if there's any more damage, they hit it with a hammer or whatever. If there's any kind of damage or neglect, we'll fix it, but they pay for the meter and the labor. And in Washingtonville Manor, like I said, all the people that have been having problems with meters or alleged readings, and there is issues in Washingtonville Manor. Chris, and I'm dealing with one now, that woman Mary, that apparently doesn't want to talk to me, she just wants to talk to somebody other than me. They'll go in and they have touch readers on a lot of the meters, but they have 2 touch readers. Well, the yellow touch reader doesn't read that meter, but the green one reads that meter. I said, Chris, we gotta come up with like he just gave me the reading on this one particular meter. On the last bill, it was 463,000, let's say, I think is what it was. When Chris went out to read it with the correct touch reader, it came out to 448,000. So what's the actual reading on a meter? Now we should go look at the meter itself, even though it's under the trailer. We should go look at the meter itself and then adjust her bill. Because that's what it's gonna come down to. I think her bill is gonna need to be adjusted because they probably used one of the readers that didn't work. So she had 3 estimated bills in her case. And there were a lot of people over there with on the bad read list that he gave me. Bottom line is, if, and the mayor was talking about going to 1 meter in Washingtonville Manor, but I don't think that would work because you'd have to rip out every other meter that's in there and go with that. I don't think there's that many times where we have to, and again, this is the way it's been, for whenever. This is the way we do it. We let them do it, and then, they pay for it. But everybody else, if I need an upgrade, they come to my house, they do the upgrade.
When you say upgrade, what do you mean by if you need?
If I have an old meter, or if I have a dial read meter, and the dial read is getting funky, or it's a 100-gallon multiplier reader, it's the old style meter, and it's not reading properly, or the dial is getting worn out, and to do that, you change the whole thing and put a touch read out there in a new meter. That's an upgrade, and it doesn't cost the homeowner anything.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I would say it's if it's a broken meter, like because of.
If it's a broken meter, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's an upgrade. So we pay for that. So over there, I think Washingtonville Manor has to stay. I actually got in touch with Washingtonville Manor three out of three times when I called, Andrea and Maria. Maria, the other situation, and there's so many stories in that Naked City over there that 30, whatever it is on Manor, they were doing a remodel on it. And she had called up and left a message for Chris to get a new meter because the old meter was leaking. Now it was probably frozen and it needs to be replaced. Okay, we'll replace it, but they're gonna, whoever is responsible for that lot now, or the management company is gonna have to pay for it. Okay, that's fine. So by the time I got a hold of her, I said, we're gonna, we'll go over there, we'll change the meter. I made arrangements with Chris last Saturday. Nick and Carl were gonna go over and change the meter. I stopped on the way home on Friday, and I looked, and there was no access to the meter. So we're not gonna take skirts down and remodel the thing to get to the meter. We'll go change it if we have to, but we're not gonna, we need access to it. So I called her up from there, and I told her